Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this quick bonus episode of Unseen. Of course, we did an episode last night. It was quite long, 37 minutes long, but it was rammed. It was so full of stuff. Of course, there are timestamps, so you can just jump to the bits that you want to jump to. But that was rammed, and since that's gone out, I found more things, right? There's more stuff to talk about. Now, we could have saved this for Unseen later, but I've kind of got a video's worth now, so what's the point in like sitting on it, right? So I thought we would get it out there, bonus episodes, and let's get stuck into it because we've got a Wyatt Sicks couple of bits, but this is really interesting. So Dave, thank you. So this is the third time the Wyatt Sicks logo has appeared in the background of a Damage Control segment. So this is Jade Bianca talking to Io Kyrie, and we have seen this before, right? And it has been behind Damage Control before. I believe Dakota, it was behind Dakota. But it has also been behind Isla and Alba. Now, at first, I thought it might be like a coincidence. I really think that they've drawn this on this metal object and it's just always there. I think this is always around backstage because it always seems to be on a metal stand about head height, about that size and that orientation. It's never at an angle, it's never bigger, it's never smaller. It always seems to be the same Pluto, right? So I don't know if that's not the exact same Pluto that we have seen before. But regardless of that, I still can't explain why it always seems to pop up during Damage Control segments. But then I remembered that it did pop up earlier this year, I think it's like June, behind Isla and Alba. So I'm starting to wonder, what if it's not Damage Control? What if it's the women's tag titles or the women's tag division? What if this is a message, but it's a message to the women's tag division? Because we know Alexa is on her way back. She's coming back. I think everyone's going to agree on that, right? We've seen her training. She's coming back. And the rumor mill was that she was going to return and at some point play a character that Bray had created for her, okay? So I don't think it's much of a reach to say at some point she is likely to team with Nikki. So is this Nikki watching the women's tag division, waiting for Alexa to return and just leaving a bit of a calling card? Is that what we're looking at here? That's a theory that I've got. I mean, listen, I don't know that there's anything to that. It might just be nothing but coincidental. It could just be that there is a Pluto that has been drawn. It's just floating around backstage. Doesn't mean anything. And it's just there to, you know, generate some conversation, you know, create a bit of buzz. Like, we know they do those kinds of things. So, but yeah, I do like the idea of it being the women's tag division that's on notice. So yeah, you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. What does the Pluto symbol in the background mean? Right, and before we move on, let's see how American Made are feeling following their street fight loss.
Complete don't, okay? Tonight didn't prove anything. Actually, you know what? It proved one thing. The thing I've always said. It takes weapons to beat us. We are still the best pure wrestlers in this company, and no one is gonna prove that wrong. Tonight didn't prove anything. Wyatt's didn't prove anything, and Canada sucks.
Back to work for America. Let's go.
So there we go. Really strange, to be honest. Not how I expected them to react. I really thought after this one they would be a bit more humble. They would be a little bit more jittery. I really thought that they would have received the message, you know, but they're still very defiant. Still very defiant. Like, that's the same Chad Gable that was around before the Wyatt Sicks even debuted. You know, like, he has had all this time with the Wyatt Sicks and he does not seem to have changed at all, which I think is a real shame, actually. I'd like to have seen some development there. So what do the Wyatt Sicks do? I mean, is that it? Do they move on now? Or are they going to look at this and think, you still haven't learned? But how many times can we keep doing this, you know? How many times can we keep doing this? Do we do Chad Howdy one more time at Bad Bloods and try and, like, you know, end it there? Or is this it? We're just going to, like, we've sent a message. We've beaten them up. We've given them a good kicking. It's time to move on to someone else. So, I don't know. Not what I was expecting, to be honest. It's left me a bit perplexed, a bit confused as to what the future is going to hold. So, watch this space. Right, I just thought this was interesting. Dave Meltzer thinks that Dragon Lee is not the wrestler that he was in NXT, and he's in need of a confidence boost. Dragon Lee, you can really see he's becoming what Psychosis was in WCW, in the sense, super talented guy who is now doubting his talent, it appears. So that's just a Dave Meltzer observation. But Dave has been watching Dragon Lee for a long time. And Dragon Lee doesn't feel the same. I do agree there, actually. I do agree. Like, Dragon Lee, there's... I think it feels like it's been quite stop-starts. I don't feel like we've really built him to be any kind of star. Crowd reactions for him are very quiet. I think the LWO thing just hasn't worked. Yeah, I don't really disagree there. Something's not quite right. Dave continued and said that Raw's move back to 2 hours starting on October 7th will reportedly only be until the end of its contract with USA, with Raw moving back to 3 hours once it moves to Netflix. So he said that he'd had that confirmed. He'd actually spoke to someone and they said, yes, it will go back to 3 hours when we go to Netflix. So there we go. That's not speculation or anything. He says he's been told. Now, of course, it is Dave Meltzer, and I can already hear people doubting it, and that is fine. I'm just telling you what is being said. Right, I thought we'd have a look at these, because I think these are pretty cool. Look at these posters. I know they were shown on the show, but I don't think you really get much chance to, like, look at them, because, like, they come and go so quick. But they just look so good. I think these posters look so good. So there we go. That's the CM Punk Drew one. Of course, we've got Rhea and Liv. They're going to be going one-on-one. And of course, Finn and Damian. So these were the matches that we were expecting. These are the matches that got made. And those are our first glimpse of the graphics. Yeah, I wanted to include this because this is Bret talking to Sean Ross Sapp, and Sean asks who's the guys that you think had the best sharpshooters besides the Hart family, and Bret says Sting, right? He puts Sting over, but he said, I can tell you who's got the worst. Like, Stone Cold always struggled, and he'll tell you that himself. And he said Shawn Michaels as well, and I didn't know this. He said, I had to speak to Shawn. I had to try and advise Shawn how to put the sharpshooter on correctly during the Montreal Screw job. So during the screw job, as he is being screwed, he's actually telling Shawn how to apply the sharpshooter because Shawn's not got it quite right. Isn't that amazing? I never knew that. I never knew Bret was basically inadvertently helping to screw himself. That's amazing, that is. So, yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Wendy Choo thought this was interesting. The fact that Lyra didn't choose Tatum to be her partner. Sus. A lot of people thought this was going to be Tatum, but obviously it turned out to be Natalya. And we've got to have praise for the ring gear. I mean, I love the white and black look. I think it looks really cool. Now, we did look at this during the live stream, but of course, some of you may not have joined us for the live stream or joined us for that exact moment. This has got some bad language in it, right? Basically, Kevin Nash had some harsh words for Logan. He was like, you're getting paid like $5 million a year, and like you're not even doing house shows, like F you on behalf of the boys, right? He just went off on Logan like he was really wound up. This is Logan's response.
I got people messaging me. They're like, yo, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. I said, damn. Who is Kevin Nash? And I mean that. I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is his problem. I'm not as versed in the WWE and in wrestling as maybe I should be, as my peers are. But then how am I so much better than all of them? You know, I don't have the answers to these questions. It is a question. I don't know how I could be the best in the WWE or at least one of the best. Like, I'm surely a top fiver, and I don't even do it full time. Now, imagine if I did learn a little bit. Imagine if I devoted, came one of the boys, learned what the difference between a shoot and a work was. Will that make me a champion? Fuck me. Fuck you. You're one of the old guys who is bitter that I am better at your job than you ever were. And that makes you pathetic. This will be my sport, and I will continue to make guys like you eat your words when I devote a little bit of time to it. So fuck me, fuck you.
I did say there was bad language there. Yeah, you know, Logan, I didn't think there was much in the way of a kill shot there. The vibe I got from that was that he actually got hurt by those comments. That's how it comes across. It comes across like, you know, I don't know who you are. You know, you want to say F me, well, F you back. Like, there's nothing witty there. Apart from the I'm better at this than you ever was kind of, but he doesn't even know who the guy is. How can you even say that if you don't even know who the guy is? So, I don't know. I kind of thought like that was a bit of a confession from Logan in a way that had hurt him and that he was going to use it as motivation. That's how I read that. Right, let's have a look at Raw, shall we? Oh, this was nice, and we did notice this at the time. So here, look, there's Bret going, where's the hard cam? And it just gets pointed out to him. It's just over there. It's just over there. So, yeah, I think Bret asked, where's the hard cam? And Wade said where it was. So the hard cam is the cam that's fixed. So, you know, the entranceway is usually pretty much always on the left as you're kind of watching the action. That's because you're normally watching from the hard camera. And so that's Bret going, where's the hard cam? Where's the hard cam? So Wade just kind of pointing it out. It's just over there, mate. Just over there. Okay. Dave again, shout out to you. Yeah, so this dude's, I seem to remember this picture as well. Found this Bret Hart with like a fake chest muscles in like Walmart. And there is Xavier wearing it on the actual show. So Dave said, how come my Walmart doesn't have anything cool like that? Must be sold out. So there we go. Channeling his inner Bret Hart. There was a bit where Kofi came over and he was like, Bret, and he started talking and Xavier went, it's me, during the show. I thought that was really funny. It's so simple, but I thought it was really funny. Crispy Wrestling said, Joe, Deadass said, it's about time that Judgment Day defended the titles. What an effing legend. And it is true. I mean, we looked the other day, it's been 70 odd days they haven't defended the belts. Well, Judgment Day will defend next week against the New Day, the World Tag Team Championships. Here, look, Who's Vindictive said, not gonna lie, they look badass. They do look great. This ring gear was awesome. Sonya said, how was I supposed to know that Natalya would come out in Calgary? And here's Zelina. She said, the best part is Ray wrote it for me. So Zelina's arm wrap tonight, never forget, with her father's name. All the love in the world. And of course, we are getting very close to the 9/11, obviously, anniversary. So that was written on her arm wrap. So lovely, lovely, very touching. Right, let's have a look at fun, shall we? See what we've got here. This is the funniest fan sign of the night. Vince screwed Bret. Canada does not forget. Hey, and look at this as well. WWE are now advertising the Wyatt Sicks for live events in late September. WWE are using this graphic to market the upcoming shows, the super shows. That's where we have Raw, SmackDown Superstars. Wyatt Sicks now on the graphics. So does that mean that these are now going to be used on live events? I don't believe they have so far. So, big news. Yeah, big news. Bully Ray said, when does AEW start selling syringes? Because WWE now have started selling the bracelets. So, when does AEW start selling syringes? PS, lighten up. It's a joke. It's a joke. So there we go. And then here, look, that's only 14 seconds long. But Wrestle Night said they look so good together. This is Tiffany and Ludwig.
You bring a beer or what? I'm gonna do a day in the life.
She wants to do a day in the life. There she is in the car.
You bring a beer or what?
So there's not much to it. I mean, I don't know if there is like a longer one, but she said she wanted to do like a day in the life, and it seems like they pop out. There she is going out. Seems like they buy. I don't know what it is, but it's a bit awkward to drive by the looks of it. But so I just thought that was pretty fun, to be honest. So we've got that. So we've done that. We can jump in members, actually, because there's really not much in there. We'll use this as the other folder. Might as well clear out all the folders. So here, look, Jey Uso has got this graphic here. It's like, I think he's seen this fan art and he's like, that's cold, man. That is cold. Rhea, Jey, Yeats. She responded, actually. I didn't put it in the folder, but she had like gooey eye, kind of about to cry emoji. She was so pleased at seeing Jey win the main event of Raw. So very cool. And here's Thea Hail. I'm 21. Bad word. So there we go. Happy 21st to Thea Hail. So yeah, loads of bits in there. Hope you enjoyed this bonus episode of Unseen. Appreciate the support as always. Don't forget, we are live later for the Wrestling Escape Pods on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. And of course, on this channel, we will be live for NXT and Julia's in-ring debut. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.